Hey, Segovia, guess what? Back with another one. We got a good one coming up in today's episode. We got some mysterious videos silenced on TikTok. You guys ready? You guys got an hour for me on this Friday evening? Let's have some fun today, y'all. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show.
Your parents said, don't take food from strangers. Postmates. Your parents said, don't get in car with strangers. Lyft. Your parents said, don't just go into anybody's house. Airbnb.
That's real.
Everything they told us not to do, hitchhiking is now a product. Now, that computer was never a learning machine. It was a computing machine, but you didn't go on it to learn. You went to school to learn. Watch what happens 2030, bro.
Computer.
The computer is a different type of learning device. It will understand you. Facebook knows just how predictive their predictive machines are. The point is, predictive algorithms will get more precise. And these suggestive algorithms coupled with predictive algorithms in the construct of people learning is going to be the norm. So we got to get our kids in and around these skill sets, encourage them, mentor them to compete.
It's always in the movies. You guys, wouldn't it be wild if not one, but two movies predicted Charlie Kirk's assassination? Now, remember I showed you guys this movie called Tempest, which came out on the same day that Charlie Kirk died, September 10th, about a politician getting shot in the neck. I would just like to know, how did this movie from 1998 called Snake Eyes predict everything that happened? Now, in short, the movie's about a detective who goes to a boxing match and witnesses the assassination of the Secretary of Defense by, you guessed it, a shot in the neck. How is it that this guy who gets shot, his name is Charles Kirkland, like Charlie Kirk? You can't make this up. Now, in this boxing match, one of the fighters' names is Tyler, and he has a very interesting nickname, which is the Executioner. Oh, you mean the same name as Charlie's killer, Tyler, in which executed him in front of everybody. And not only that, the full name of this boxer is actually Lincoln Tyler, like Lincoln, who also got assassinated. And this date does look like September 10th, but it's actually the 19th. It looks like, I can't see, it's not too clear, because if you compare that 0 to the other one, it doesn't look the same. So that one's debunked.
Still, same
Then you
month.
have the city itself it took place in, which is Atlantic City, in which the filming actually took place at Trump's Taj Mahal Hotel Casino in Atlantic City. Now, what are the chances that Charlie Kirk's father actually helped build not only Trump Tower in New York, but other hotel casinos like the Tropicana in Atlantic City? And not to mention, one of the characters in the movie who was a hotel casino owner was based off of Trump. Now, speaking of Trump, not only that Erica Kirk, Charlie's wife, knew Trump long before Charlie did when she won Miss Arizona in the pageant that Trump owned, but how is it possible that in this scene where this guy gets assassinated, there is a blonde in a white satin suit, just like Erica?
I'm telling you, you are the one that's gonna be sorry.
And I quote, "I'm telling you, you're the one that's gonna be sorry." Bro, what? Now, with all that being said, with the cherry on top, we have an all-seeing eye right in that scene right before he gets shot. This is why I watch movies with a different lens, you guys, because it's either predictive programming, they have some type of time travel. I don't know how this all works, but this is more than just a coincidence. As always, make sure you get into my Telegram and let me know what you think about all this down below.
Yeah, what are the chances, y'all? We always say there's no such thing as coincidences when it comes to these things. Like the same outfit, the same name, the same, maybe not the same day of the fight, but the same month, right? Like, what are the chances? What are the chances of that? What do you guys think with all this evidence that's coming out now? What do you guys think? Was it a hit? Because we know they have to tell us in movies, right? They have to tell us what they're doing behind closed doors. That's the pact they made. A book came out the day before the shooting of Charlie Kirk on, I'm guessing, maybe Netflix. That movie came out the same day that a politician got shot in the same side of the same neck, making the same like gestures and all that. Like, what are the chances of that? Is it coincidence? Or was this a planned hit? Let me know down below.
There is an insane connection with what happened with Charlie Kirk and a movie that came out in 1998. So the movie is called Snake Eyes and it starred Nicolas Cage. And the movie was about a man named Charles Kirkland who got shot in the neck at a public event. Now, in the first 10 seconds of the movie, there is a sign for this event, and it says that it takes place on September 10th. So in this movie, the killer killed Charles Kirkland on September 10th, which is when our Charlie Kirk got killed.
That's
It
close.
gets even crazier because the killer in this movie is called the Executioner, and he is a distraction for the person who actually did the killing of Charles Kirkland. And get this, the person who took the rap for it in the movie's name is Tyler. Tyler. You know, the same thing that happened to Charlie Kirk. Tyler Robinson. And on the box for this movie, and on the trailer of this movie, underneath where it says Snake Eyes, it says, "Believe everything but your eyes." Guys, what is happening?
So I went down the Erica Kirk rabbit hole, and let me just say, if any of this is true, then this is insane. Let me start off by saying that this is all allegedly. So a lot of people have been raising questions about Erica Kirk ever since the memorial and then the one video she put out addressing the nation about Charlie Kirk.
Like, if this was a hit, just a quick interruption, this was a hit, that dude holding his wife knows it was a hit. Does she know? I don't know. I'm going to try to say and be a person with gratitude that she doesn't know. But that dude hugging her like that knows.
Then the picture she posted with him in the casket caused people to do a bunch of digging about her. Just seem very disingenuous. So apparently she used to run an orphanage in Romania, and it was a Christian orphanage, and allegedly a lot of kids went missing. A lot of kids who came into that orphanage went missing. With her ties to you-know-who, his ties to you-know-who, a lot of people are speculating that those kids were trafficked. Because you know she won Miss Arizona in 2012, which was co-owned by Donald Trump. I remember Erica Kirk and Donald Trump, they have history. They've been knowing each other. But here's another thing. She is allegedly banned from Romania. He was kicked out of Romania. Orphanage closed down. And among that, a lot of people are speculating that the one video was AI or it was a reptilian and it wasn't really her and she was in on it. And there's allegedly TikTok, allegedly. This rabbit hole goes really deep when you start to look. All I'm saying is that there's a lot of things that look fishy, okay? And these are the things that are being put out there. And so I do think it is strange. A lot of people were saying that she was Bro's handler, allegedly, and he knew something. She was there to watch him and she knew something and she had to pull the plug or tell people about, you know what I mean? This is all alleged. TikTok, this is alleged. This is people's conspiracy. I'm not saying any of this is true. This is all allegedly for entertainment purposes only. If none of this is true, let her grieve in peace. Maybe this is just her coping mechanism. Maybe this is just the way she grieves. But a lot of people on the internet are raising questions about her. That's all I'm saying.
I hate to make conspiracies about this, but there are just way too many similarities in this movie and what happened to Charlie Kirk. So in a 1998 movie called Snake Eyes starring Nicolas Cage, a politician named Charlie Kirkland, a politician, gets assassinated in the neck in very almost identical spot. And it is during a boxing match on September 10th. Here's the poster. And the man starring in the fight is Tyler the Executioner. I usually don't believe in coincidences, but I just don't understand how this is possible. The same date, the big event, the big distraction is the fight of Tyler the Executioner. The name of the politician who got assassinated is Charlie Kirkland. It's wild.
You guys, just think about that. Just think about that. If this is legit a hit, like they told us this was going to happen. When did that come out in the 90s? 20, 30 years ago. And they got the name of the dude that got hit is the same name. The day of the fight, I'm not 100% sure because that other dude said debunked, but it looked like it, the same exact date. The dude that did it, the same exact name. Like, that's how scary it is, y'all. Like I said yesterday, they got planners that plan for centuries ahead. They got it all mapped out, written down. Centuries, hundreds of years ahead. And they're telling us things now in these movies, right? With all the end of the world things, with all the, crazy robots taking over, Terminators, right? The one with Will Smith. They got all these movies, right, of taking over, iRobots taking over. This is going to happen in the next 10, 20 years, just like that in the 90s or whatever. All these September 11 things on The Simpsons, on Johnny Bravo posters, and Terminator, the height 9/11, like beware or whatever it said. Like they tell us, like, if you watch the movies now, this is pretty much what's going to be happening in the future, y'all. So prepare.
It was something in our phones.
Well,
That's
not
scary.
only the phones, but the TVs. So there's a patent.
TVs, that's what it was.
There's a patent that controls your electromagnetic fields, and they can manipulate you through your nervous system.
And everybody's nervous system's out of wreck anyway.
Yeah.
So you said that this phone is a magical device. How does it read
It's flashing you. It's taking pictures of you right now.
Yeah. So if you take a micro infrared camera and just set it there or set it up to your face, you're gonna see lights flash every 5 seconds. It's taking a picture of your face every 5 seconds. That's how FaceTime works. That's how they're gathering your biometric data.
People lose weight. People cut their hair. How does it always know? Because obviously it's taking pictures, but what else is it doing? Is it altering our DNA somehow, or what is it doing?
Because here's the thing. Think about this. These devices that we have, right? So there's a show called Black Mirror, right? That shows you like a dystopian future of like technology and how it could go wrong, right? So what is this phone? It's a Black Mirror.
Why was President Lincoln assassinated? Because he was controlling the financial stability of America. President Lincoln did not want any foreign power like the Rothschilds to control our money supply. And even the first Constitution of 1776 forbids any foreign power, 13 families, to control our money supply. So the Greenback plan through Lincoln. So the Rothschilds didn't like that. And the Romanov family out of Russia, who was eventually taken out by these Bolshevik devils during the October 7, 1917 Bolshevik Revolution, the Romanovs, during the time of the Civil War, assisted Lincoln in defeating the South. But the Rothschilds were supplying both sides. They don't care who wins the war as long as the Rothschilds come out on top.
But that's another topic for another day.
Another topic for another day.
The best way to gain control of the most intelligent, powerful species on the planet would be to completely divide them from the love within themselves. As soon as they are old enough to begin creating an understanding of who they are, force them into a system that teaches them that it is wrong to be yourself if yourself is different from what is accepted as normal. Confuse them about their own biological makeup so that they think that permanently altering their body is the answer to happiness. Require their daily attendance at an institution that makes them focus only on the information that is provided. Make them attend that institution from age 5 until an adult and repeatedly test them on the information so that it becomes their truth. Give them an explanation to everything so that they never have a chance to make their own assumptions of the world. Scold them and humiliate them if they suggest an opinion that opposes that of their authorities. Keep reminding them of how cruel their ancestors were to each other in the past and broadcast how cruel they are to each other in the present. Only show them tragedies on the news so that they live in fear and think the worst of one another. Convince them that their species used to be that of an incognizant wild animal. Make them think that their very existence is so incredibly random that they lack purpose and struggle to make sense of a creator. Tell them that their kind is as smart as they've ever been so that they don't question the integrity of the system that they're in. Provide them idols with artificial beauty and use them as examples of what it is to look perfect so that they are never content with their own appearance and can't help but to compare themselves amongst each other. Create addictive digital platforms that rank them by numbers so that they base their self-worth off of the amount of followers that they have and are never satisfied.
Okay guys, breaking news. It looks like something big could be about to happen in the US, but we don't know what exactly it is yet. So the Washington Post just reported that Pete Hegseth, the US Secretary of War, just ordered a rare and urgent meeting of almost every single senior US official, military official from around the world. Now, reports state that a meeting of this size and its urgency is not just rare, but it might be unprecedented. Now, what they will be discussing, or even why they are being called in to Virginia next week, is unknown. But also just a couple of hours ago, the deputy director of the FBI just tweeted, "God bless America," and to all those who defend her. And then, just to make the situation even crazier, this also comes as the US is facing a potential government shutdown because of a standoff with congressional Democrats over federal funding. On top of that, because of this potential, the White House is now threatening mass firings if there is a government shutdown. So, yeah, it's all freaking going off, but I guess we could have a busy week next week.
No, it's not possible. And I'm talking to all the biggest suppliers and all the biggest chocolate companies, and they're like, no, it's just, if you want to sell chocolate, you use child labor. It's just kind of how it works. And I'm like, that seems, everyone, like,
does that seem fair?
Yeah, I was like, everyone in this boardroom, you're all just like, that's like a consensus, and you just don't even care. And it's like, no one really cared. It's like crazy. They're all just like, it is what it is.
So Kamala Harris did a tell-all book just to reveal that the right was right the whole time.
I didn't fully appreciate how much people wanted to know there was a difference between me and President Biden. I thought it was obvious.
So this is Kamala Harris on The View, and she's talking about her up-and-coming tell-all book, and how in the book she talks about how her viewpoints and the way she would have ran the United States is completely different and how President Biden did it. And then she goes and gaslights her entire Democratic Party by saying, "I thought I made it obviously clear that I wasn't for the things that President Biden was doing." And she put her foot so deep into her mouth that The View ended up cutting to commercial and not even letting her finish.
Obvious. And I didn't want to offer a difference in a way that would be received or suggested to be a criticism. And you know, in the campaign, full time I was pointing out the differences. My theory of the case was we need to bring costs down. We're going to extend the child tax credit. We're going to have Medicaid.
Wake up, no. They didn't even let her finish.
They cut it off like that? No way.
And here's the reason why. I seem to remember, Kamala Harris, you went on the same show, The View, and you were asked by Sunny Hostin, was there anything that you would have changed about the Biden administration?
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years? There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
I guess The View producers were smart enough to realize that what she was saying was contradicting exactly what she said on The View during her campaign towards presidency. She literally said there was nothing that came to mind that she would not change about the Biden administration, and she was actively a part of making a lot of the decisions. But you just heard her interview recently with The View stating that she thought she made it pretty clear that she wasn't for all the choices that Biden was making. So what is it? Were you a part of the decision making? Were you not? We obviously know about the auto pen, but what you're doing on these book tours is you're revealing that we were absolutely right about your administration. It was sheer chaos. There was actually no leadership. You and Biden probably didn't get along based on the things in the clips that you're talking about in your book. And now you're coming out and stating, I thought I made it pretty clear that I wasn't for all the decisions of Biden.
So many things about this Charlie Kirk assassination that the FBI story makes no sense. None of it. And it's obvious that they invented those text messages. Those aren't real. So Candace Owens has a take on this. And she, let me guess what it is. She thinks the bullet has a secret dick. That's what I think.
I suspected the same thing, Jimmy.
We've all suspected that. But here it is. Here's what she says.
The gun was found in the backyard of someone that I know. We all know each other. And it was found by a chicken coop. Like, you could describe it as a wooded area, but, you know, it's pretty suburban here. And it was found by her chicken coop. The locals are theorizing. Again, we have no proof of this. But this is what they are saying is that they're not being honest about the fact that the house right next door to where the gun was found is a mysteriously vacant home that is owned by the university itself, and that is where they believe that the true shooter ran to following the assassination of Charlie Kirk. They think, and again, they're floating a theory here, that Tyler Robinson was instructed to merely drop off his gun, okay, walks onto campus to simply drop off his gun at the chicken coop place. So I'm going to show you that. Do we have a map of that vacant property and where the gun location is found? And he says you'd have to be an insider to know that the general direction that person is running, even though they're very close, similarly would lead him to the vacant home that we've all kind of had questions about. You know, it's kind of been vacant for a while. And actually where the gun is found, it's just two different places.
What do you make of that, Kurt?
What I make of it is they got a bunch of crash dummies on deck to do the technology to make these stupid Lee Harvey Oswald MK people. It's proprietary. So state actors like Pegasus, they have it. So, hey, Bill Ackman could have it. It doesn't necessarily have to be directly Mossad. Right. If you're very wealthy, you could afford Pegasus, or you could be in the mega group and do cutout work for the country you love. I'm not saying it's directly connected. It doesn't have to be. They got all these glassy-eyed patsies all over the place, and they made them with the internet. They don't have to put a chip in your head. They already did it. They did it. So if you believe, I mean, this is the least, I kind of blank out at this part. This is the least nonsensical thing so far of it. The most nonsensical to me are the video, the thing about the 30-06 rifle.
Yeah, we're going to get to that next. Yeah. But this thing,
I don't even know them.
So but the whole thing about the abandoned house, the empty house, so the whole idea is the guy took a gun, somehow he had it disassembled, got on the roof, assembled it, and somehow had the
sign. I don't know about y'all, but if I did something like that, I'm not going to leave the gun in the wide open. I'm going to drive over a large body of water bridge and throw it over the bridge like the mafia used to do, right? Done. I'm not going to lay it right here with a, big old picket sign saying guns here. You know what I mean? Like, that's why it's fishy. Like, I would drive over, I think anybody would, did something crazy like that. This gun, no one's ever going to find this. It's getting dumped in the water somewhere. It's fishy.
Giant pets truly can be found everywhere, but in Thailand, they have some of the two best examples. The experts tell us these are just some random rock formation that's 75 million years old, and to ignore the evidence of your eyes and ears. But we know here, geology is nothing more than hardened biology, and the rocks were most certainly alive. As massive as these whales are, just think of the size of the flood that moved them up here. The giant ancient trees were cut, everything shrank, and now we're just the ants. Let's look at one more in Thailand. The last one, Naka Cave, which the title means snake cave, and I think you'll understand why. Some say it could even be a dragon, but I think as you've seen some of these shots, you can see it just coiled around, and the cave is actually the scales of this giant snake. It's amazing sights like these exist, and people still try to blame it on pareidolia. Question everything, friends. Until next time.
Here's a conspiracy theory that I think is 98% likely to be true. That people come into politics with $100,000 a year salary and walk away with $50 million net worth from their stock trades. That's insider trading. And by the way, if you ask ChatGPT what percentage of insider trading is caught, 15%. The other 85% get rich. The dishonest people have an advantage on you because they fly to the company headquarters, they pay and employ, what's your earnings report going to be? Oh, it's going to be down. They go short that stock. Be careful thinking you can trade stocks and become wealthy if you're not a dishonest person.
So I don't think I'm the only one tripping on this picture of Justin Bieber posting a picture of a child with a pizza emoji on it. And this guy has to know about the conspiracies with this one. And if you know, you know. But I looked at the comments because there's 12,000 of them and everyone is asking the same question. Like literally you could have put any other emoji other than a pizza. It always feels like Justin Bieber's trying to say something, but he can't really say anything. So he just does stuff like this, especially with the Yummy music video and the Diddy stuff. Like, I don't think he's a bad guy. I just think he's trying to communicate and wants to say stuff, but can't. I don't know.
You know, there's a couple things like on my son's sippy cup. I noticed there's like the swirls all around like the cap, right? All around there, there's those swirls. We all know what those swirls are, right? And then also like sometimes he likes, I don't know if any of you guys have, if any of you guys have kids, you guys know young kids that Miss Rachel, she's right on YouTube, billions of views, right? I don't know. My son loves it, right? Teaches him a lot. He smiles, he loves it. But there's one person on there that I'm not a fan of. I fast forward it every time I see it. And you can tell she's part of that club, right? That rainbow club. You can tell. And one day I was sitting there, you know, just he was watching it. I was sitting in there with them watching it, and she had a beanie on. On that beanie was a pizza, right? And I was like, man, they just put it in our face. Like you know, they know what that. Even if it's not true, even if it's all conspiracy, they know that it's tied to that. So why even risk it? Why even put that in parents' minds? You know what I mean? Even if it's not 100% fake, right? Why even chance that? It was on her. It was on her beanie, y'all. Every time I see that lady, I fast forward it.
I'm here with all humility to apologize to everyone who have had me promote Brother Joshua's 23rd, 24th date of September rapture.
Guys, I'm saying goodbye to my car. I've had it for 5 years. But she's mine no more. Someone else is gonna get her. I'm catching a flight to heaven in September anyway.
You know how streaming is a big thing now, right? You feel like they're soft launching us for what's to come as far as being under 24-hour surveillance?
They're really trying to find the true chosen souls on this planet. When you're chosen, you cannot marginalize a person when they're chosen. There's a diametrical difference between the NPC and the chosen one. The chosen one has the ability to think for themselves, and they looking for people who have that capability. Because when you're chosen, you too white for black people and you too white for the black. So you got to operate in the middle, and that's what makes you the glitch, because you have your own frequency.
Why would they need to know who's the chosen ones? Like, who has the authentic souls?
Because they know that authenticity is the only thing that can be artificial intelligence. That's why I said they looking for chosen souls. And once they find us, they want to keep us under degradation. They want to marginalize us and try to put us in these boxes to conform to their system. They looking for certain people who have a glow, who have that supreme masculinity, that supreme divine feminine energy. They looking for those entities. We're going to have another scamdemic. It's going to happen. When the world shuts down, there is no more money. There's no more government. There's no more sports. There's no more football. There's no more going to work. So who's going to shine when the whole system falls? Those who have authentic souls. Those who have the ability to critically think for themselves. And those are the ones that they are after.
I wish I was a cop. I'd sit in a room like, this story is horseshit. Like none of these things make any sense to me. Like, you're telling me that this kid who's not military trained, this guy, first of all, how did he get to the roof? How come nobody was looking? How come nobody was like, there's a direct line of sight between where he's sitting and those roofs? You guys didn't check? You don't have a drone? Like, that's insane. So he's on the roof. He shoots. He jumps from the roof. He jumps down 14 feet.
Yeah, we saw didn't they have video of him jump? Somebody had a cell phone video of him jumping.
There's a video of him jumping. So this guy, whoever it is, jumps off of the roof and lands. Whether or not he's even the guy who shot him, maybe he thought he was going to shoot him. Maybe he's a patsy. Maybe he did it.
I feel like he's a plant. Did you see the video? Did you see the person doing the investigating on his mom's Facebook?
No.
You haven't seen this? Have you seen that, Jamie? Some dude online.
His mom's got a weird Facebook. I spill coffee.
Very trippy. It doesn't make any sense. Like, the more they keep looking into it, the more they're like, this doesn't feel like a real, it feels super fabricated.
But here's the thing. Just like I was talking about when people are arguing on social media, It's all part of the plan. If you want things to be,
I wanted it so bad. Buckets, that was buckets.
If you want people to lose all faith that anyone is going to solve anything, you add a bunch of, if you're going to kill a guy, you add a bunch of other wacky shit that doesn't make any sense, and you spam it out there at the same time. You leave a gun that didn't do it out in the woods. You do a bunch of shit like that.
You have an old man put his dick out and yell, I did it, I did it, I did it.
Yeah, you get some kid who has a boyfriend who's a furry, and you
boyfriend
talk
is a
to him on
furry?
Discord. I think he's a furry.
Is
I
that
don't
a-
want to disrespect.
I don't know if that's a
He's
real
definitely
thing.
His boyfriend's definitely a guy who became a girl.
And wears furry stuff.
I think they do furry sex. Or furry games. Excuse me. My apologies. I don't want to disrespect the furry sex
Shout out
or
to the
furry
furry
game
community. Yeah.
Bro, shout out to the furries, because me and Duncan.
It will knock your socks off. Thousands and thousands of pages. It makes what Chelsea Manning leaked look like, scrawl from a sixth grader. So he revealed that the CIA has developed technologies to, for example, remotely take over your car by hacking into the chip, right? Why would the CIA want to take over your car? To make you drive off a bridge, maybe? To make you drive into a tree and kill yourself? To make you drive into an abutment and make sure that there's no way you can survive because they've got the thing going 140 miles an hour and you can't control it? They developed technology to reverse your smart TV to make the speaker into a microphone with the TV still appearing to be off. So you don't know that it's broadcasting everything that's being said in your house to CIA headquarters. They were able to hack into other countries' most sensitive technological systems and to leave little scraps of code, but the scraps of code are written in Russian or in Persian, in Farsi. So people say, oh, the fucking Russians hacked into us, or the Chinese, or the Iranians. And actually, no, it was us. But you'll never know it. I mean, there's almost too much in Vault 7 to even go into. It's incredible. I'm gonna.
They have all this surveillance. Like, I'm sure Israel has all this too, right? And yet those October attacks still happen. They know it's coming. We're going to let it happen. I want to get into this war. Go ahead. September 11th, Pearl Harbor. They knew Japanese are planning a surprise attack on the harbor. We're going to let it happen. We need this World War II to happen. We need some things to, we need to change some laws. So we're going to let this happen. You know what I mean? Like, they got all this surveillance, yet these mass casualties events, these terrorist events, all these things still happen, yet they have all this surveillance and know what's going on. Cold game, y'all. We're pawns on the chessboard.
Not donate to Goodwill. Let me show you why. This ghost blow mold that you see back there will never make it to the floor. This happens all the time. I just asked about it, and it will be sold online. So they will take the coolest products that come in, list them for sale online. So I've seen a lot of Shein, a lot of Target, a lot of mass-produced clothing on the floor, and it's really hard to find cool, unique pieces anymore. The same thing with home decor, holiday decor. The process of finding fun treasures at Goodwill is long gone. Now you're lucky to find maybe an article of clothing, even those sold online. If they are classified as vintage or identified as vintage, very unlikely they will make it up to the floor. It's really frustrating. It sucks that this is how it is, but this is corporate grade, even at a nonprofit. So even though someone donated that with the intention that it would go out to the floor, someone would find it, will never happen. I used to donate with such an excitement that someone would possibly find something cool that I donated. Those times are long gone. So annoyed about that blow mold.
Yeah, like thrifting. I made a lot of money thrifting, y'all. It's a fun side hustle. Highly recommend it. You still go to yard sales, secondhand thrift shops, and find some treasures, y'all. And people get upset. Like, I see comments all the time when people go to a yard sale and buy something for $5 when they well know that it's worth $100. That guy didn't do his research, y'all. Do your that. Don't hate the player, hate the game. I think that's just part of it. I mean, if you're gonna get mad at that, get mad at whatever you're watching this video on your phone or on your computer, on your TV, costs $5 to make, but they're selling it to us for $1,000. That's the game, y'all. Everything in this country, all this stuff in your house is made in China. You know why it's made in China? Because they buy it cheap and they sell it expensive to us. That's why. That's just the game. So don't get upset at that. But man, I remember I went and bought some Star Wars books at a secondhand thrift shop, a church thrift shop too, a church one. And I heard her talking when she was wrapping up my books, like, man, we should have looked this up. We could have sold this for a lot of money on eBay. You know what I mean? Like, it's greed. It is greed. And that's at a church thrift shop. They're greedy now. They get it for free. You get it for free. People donate that to you. Your business is pretty much 100% profit. That's dirty. That is dirty to me. Not dirty to me to go buy it at a thrift shop, which you got for free, and I buy it for $5 and sell it for $100. What's dirty for me is you get it for $100. You look it up on eBay, it's selling for $100, so I'm going to mark it at $150. That's dirty, I think.
I do not see this being spoken about enough. Vietnam closed another 86 million bank accounts a week after Thailand froze 3 million bank accounts. And you guys want to know the whole reason why they're doing this to people? It's because people aren't trying to comply with this whole digital ID thing. Basically, they're trying to digitize everything. They're trying to digitize your identity. They're trying to automate and digitize the jobs and the workforce. They're also trying to automate and digitize the financial industry. And it's happening in Thailand, bro. Like, this isn't just some Western concept. You often see people talk about, like, is the end times only happening in America? No, they do it in these other countries where media isn't that popular because they can get away with it much better. People will go along with it. It's easier for them to manipulate when all the eyes aren't on said topic. And it's coming here. Yeah, it is. I'll show you. Quick Google search. Is digital IDs coming to America? Yes, they are coming to the US. And it says here that digital IDs can be saved in digital wallets like an Apple wallet or a Google wallet. Guys, look, we're here. This like is really happening, bro. Like Terminator, all these movies, WALL-E, iRobot, like all these movies, they tried to warn us, bro. And it's not that they tried to warn us. They really just were letting us know what's going to happen in the future. Will you be getting a digital ID? Let me know down below in the comments. Also, let me know your thoughts regarding this digital ID and what all you think is really going on here. But hey, we were warned. We definitely were warned. The Bible says in Revelation 13 that no man would be able to buy or sell save he receive a mark. So I'll leave that there. You let me know what you think that means.
All right, y'all. This is the best visual representation of spiritual warfare. I'm telling y'all, bro. Watch the whole thing. This is how it really is, bro. This is how it really is. Just watch. A disciple of Christ. This physical world. The unseen spiritual world. Look at them demons in the back. Look at them demons. Yep. Yep. The physical world. The spiritual world. Look at all them demons them people got, bro. Them demons are within them. It's in their vessel. It's in their body. Ooh. Look at them demons. They don't even know. They probably don't even know. The atheist spirit. Ooh. You see how the demons, they get scared of the warrior of Christ.
Satan. Like that's true. And it's not even their intentions, to be that way. I get a lot of comments in here and I can tell you got some demons in you, right? Might not even be your intentions. I've gotten comments, people being rude. I get an email, sorry, my wife, was getting me upset. That's why I did this to you. Like, man, you guys got to work. A lot of people got to work on themselves. Work on yourselves. Get knowledge. Knowledge is key. Knowledge is power. Don't have a bad day and take it out on somebody. That's weak. That's weak. That's easy. That's easy. It's hard to have a bad day and hold that door open for somebody. It's hard to have that bad day and give somebody $1 or $5 or buy somebody. You're going to the gas station. You're going, there's somebody out there. I'm going to buy him a gallon of water. That's hard. It's easy to say no when he asks for something. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people, and they don't realize it. It's not their intentions, but that's what it is. Got some demons in you. You got to cast them out. You got to find something that makes you happy, makes you thrive, makes you go through life just happy. Life's too short to be upset all the time, y'all.
Is sending his dead to us. Why?
because you have sex out of wedlock. You kill unborn children. You have man-on-man relations, same-sex marriage. How do you think your God will judge you? Well, friends, now we know. When there is no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
Yo, what did Nick Cannon just say about food?
Color code of food. It's God's original barcode that allows you to become your own nutritionist when it comes to figuring out what you need at that time. Food that is red, that's for your vitality and your energy. The orange food, whether it's oranges, squash, this is for the boosting of your immunity. Green is for your digestive system and detoxing you. The purple, the blue, this is relaxation. This is what antioxidant that kills the free radicals. The yellow is good for your brain. So whatever feeling you have, they are your internal guidance system to let you know something is off balance in you. So if you know the color coding of food, you don't have to know how to read all through the paragraphs of stuff that's on the back. Matter of fact, if it got a paragraph, it's not food. Matter of fact, if it got a barcode, it's not food. It's really an industrialized commodity posing as food. It's good tasting plastic, but it's not real food. Right.
Somebody's got to call this for what it is. One of the big things I talk about is what happened to our society because of social media platforms and the internet. It was like big airplanes flew over the country and dropped smartphones on everybody. That's the biggest change in society since the Industrial Revolution. Think about it.
Yeah.
We went from walking around with our heads up like this to down. People check their phone an average of 352 times a day. They're watching people live their lives on the internet instead of living their own lives. And in 08, 09, and 10, we saw the biggest spikes in depression, anxiety, and loneliness since they've been keeping records. That's when the cell phones came out. That's when smartphones came out. That's when the internet blew up. Because people started watching people live their lives instead of living their own life, and those lives they were watching were fiction.
Yep.
And they compared their life to that life and said, I suck.
It's starting to look absolutely certain that the Carolinas will be underwater on Monday. Specifically Monday at 3 o'clock. But hey, we're not even getting into the rapid intensification part yet, because the water is warm and the frequency is insane. But at this point, most models are agreeing it's going to be a dead hit on north, south, or right in between them. And we'll get to the other one in a minute, but I mean, it's kind of strange. We know it's going to take the path of least resistance, but watch it right here, squeeze right through the Mona Strait, as if it didn't have a steering wheel. But do you want to know my biggest worry? It's WNC, because there's no way it couldn't stall over there. Is there? I mean, that was theoretically impossible the first time, wasn't it? Then of course we have this other one that's already a hurricane right beside it, and no one knows how it's really going to act yet. But one thing I do know, and I did warn about a few months ago, is the rapid intensification of these hurricanes because of the water temperature. Right this minute, we have a mysterious 5,000 mile wide blob hanging out in the Pacific. When thinking of water temps, think in terms of frequency. Have you seen the Schumann frequency, by the way? By the way, Gabriel that just formed up our east is about to go and hit them now. I'm telling you all, these hurricanes have a mind of their own, and completely 1000% unrelated, just showing you guys how cool the sky is over here. Whoa. But here's the real question. How much do you think it'll intensify in the next 48 hours? No relation, it's just for your attention. And the next 48 hours, seeing as how every single hurricane and typhoon we've had have basically skipped 1 to 5 in 24 hours. And what is that going to do? If you live in this area, get prepared.
You gotta watch this.
This is exactly why I don't watch sports. There's a reason why the Romans used to say that if you want to keep people distracted, you simply give them bread and circuses. And it's because they knew that if people were fed and entertained, then they wouldn't question anything,
and they wouldn't think for themselves. And you see modern day sports is the exact same thing. People yell at TVs, they memorize stats, they argue over other players, and they even wear another man's last name on their back to vicariously live through them.
You know, people get so passionate about so many things, but they're not passionate about God. And we get zealous about Jesus, about what he did for us, and stop being so distracted and passionate about all these other things that don't matter. The only thing that matters is that which is eternal. And if you agree, hit that follow or subscribe button now for more.
Da Vinci's location for his Last Supper painting was in a homosexual lesbian brothel called the Santa Maria del Grazie in Milan, Italy. Back then, during the 14 and 1500s, it was a homosexual lesbian in a brothel for the trafficking of children. Why would Da Vinci create something that is holy, the Last Supper, in order to contaminate it within a brothel? This is how demons do with language. Okay?
And it was named Santa Maria something.
Yeah, Santa Maria del Grazie in Milan, Italy.
Can I tell you something disgusting? 1929 or 1939, one of the two. The American Cancer Society was founded. And if you go look up their mission statement, it was solely to receive donations to fund research to cure and eradicate cancer from the earth. On their website right now, it says, "We do not know what causes cancer and no cancer is curable." I put up on the screen for the years of COVID only, their tax return revenue reporting to the government of the United States. How much money during COVID alone each year was given to the American Cancer Society, who to this day, 100 years later almost, still doesn't know what causes cancer or how to cure it. They have been given in 5 years $4.5 billion, and they still don't have a cure for cancer, nor do they know how to treat it or what causes it. Come on, man. I didn't even do the whole 100 years of revenue reporting to the government. How much more money do you need to donate? That's not the National Cancer Institute. It's just American Cancer Society.
What kind of advice would you give a mom who has a kid with imaginary friends that seems to be getting in the way of his real life friends? Jessica in Houston, talk to us, baby girl.
I had my little sister. Me and her are 4 years apart. Between us and our cousins, she was kind of the only one her age at that point. She had her own little imaginary friend, which now that we think about it, it might have been a little demon. Because at one point, my cousin was babysitting my sister, and all of a sudden she does not see her. She's just like, what the heck is going on? Like, she's looking around, she's looking in the closet, she's looking under all this crap. And my sister is outside by the community pool about to jump in. And my cousin runs to her and she's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "So-and-so is telling me to jump in." And she's like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah." She's like, we want to go swimming. Mind you, it's like 8 o'clock in the morning and it's cold out. And she's like, "Oh, we just want to go swimming." And she's like, "No, like."
Whoa.
Oh my God! She's back! Chill out. Then what I didn't do anything.
You didn't even touch the board.
Why does it have to be that? Why does it have to be that?
All the calls were perfectly fine until that one. Yeah, that was weird. She called upon the demon.
I think she needs to find a new babysitter because there ain't no way my son is going to be able to walk out the front door at that young of an age without me knowing, right? Get off the phone, babysit. I say that while my son's asleep in the bed and I'm over here reacting. He's up, but I'm keeping an eye on him, but he's up. I need to get this video done.
This case keeps on getting weirder and darker. So David, the singer, who had a 15-year-old girl found dead in his car, supposedly was bringing caskets to his recent concert. Take a look at this video. This girl looks like she was filming it on July 30th. You can clearly see caskets, and I guess the idea of this was for people to write notes to the dead. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, just watch my recent videos on this and it'll catch you up. But also, the girl who died, her name was Celeste Hernandez.
and her birthday was on September 7th. If you look at the date, Romantic Homicide, one of his songs that talks about literally killing someone, it was released on September 7th, 3 years ago, and this is straight from YouTube. Now, if we go to his TikTok, his last post was on September 7th, and it talked about him releasing a new album, and these look like text messages, the photos he posted, maybe. But there's also 15 of them, and she turned 15 on September 7th. Speaking of his TikTok, a lot of his reposts are pretty scary. I mean, it's just toxic relationship stuff. They're memes, but now they carry a different meaning. If you're wondering how old David is, he is 20 and the girl is 15. And in this chat, you can see some Epstein jokes being made, and then she says this.
He trained you. That's controversial.
It's controversial of rape kids.
Really good.
Okay,
It's been a good one.
Clearly the age difference not good, and he didn't care because in one of his songs he says, I don't care about the law when I'm with you because I be breaking it all the time.
Pull the water from it, and then what's left is highly dried and mineral. Yeah, yeah. Water is water. It's a water molecule.
That's the thing about.
By the way,
water.
every
If you
glass.
drink
Did you see this?
People's pee is in it.
That's correct.
Yes.
You got a bottle of water here.
Caveman pee.
Okay. This has
Napoleon's pee in it.
Yes. Yes, there are more molecules of water in this bottle than there are bottles of water, this volume of water, in all the world's oceans. So in other words, if you drank this and peed it out, okay, you have enough molecules in your pee and in your sweat and in the moisture that you exhale. All that goes back into the environment, scattering into all sources of water of the world, and there's enough of those molecules to occupy every half liter of water that covers the surface of this earth. So that given enough time, you scoop a cup of water out of there. I don't even care if you filter it. The H2O is still there. That is water that has passed through the kidneys of Abraham Lincoln. Genghis Khan, Joan of Arc, Socrates,
Plato.
No.
Jesus? Can I get a bottle of Jesus?
I'm trying to get my Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure list going here, okay? You just ruined it. But yes, Jesus would be included in that. So would Socrates, yes. So that is by the way, the same is true with breaths of air. There are more molecules of air in every breath you take than there are breaths of air in all the atmosphere of the earth. So when you exhale, there's enough of those molecules to scatter, and the air currents will do this to scatter into every breath of air that is inhaled. So when you take a breath of air, you have molecules of air that went through the lungs of Jesus. We're all connected, and there's no way around it.
And the water that we have is the water that we have, right? We drink it, we pee it, it goes to the atmosphere, it comes down as rain.
Yeah, and the rain is an important difference is most of the water on Earth is salt water that you can't drink.
Right.
And there's a limited amount that's fresh water.
Did you wait?
No.
It would be her. Abby, isn't Jeremy on the other side?
Where am I? I'm going to show you. Ow! All right, Bernie. He's actually going to sit on your lap. No? Okay. Do we have an alcohol? What crack?
See how quick she just moved on from that? He's going to sit on your lap. No. Okay. Right? There was no Bernie, we need this. There was no fight back to that. We all have choices. Now, did his choice of that, and I'm sure a lot more, lead to his demise? Possibly. But a lot of people, come on, sit on my lap. You know? But he had morals, and he said no. But those people the girl that had him sit on the lap, the girl she asked, like, hey, where is he sitting? Those people are the reptilians. Those people are the Illuminati. Those people are the ones that do fillers. And like, okay, they probably made a note. Okay, we can't get him. He's out of here, right? Those are the people that call the shots.
From a radio station in San Bernardino, I know there's a conspiracy about space shuttle.
No, I want to be polite.
There she is. This person approached Judy Resnick and attempted to politely engage with her regarding the Challenger shuttlecraft mission.
Hey, Judy. How you doing? I'm from the press. I just had a quick question, if you don't mind.
What press?
From a radio station in San Bernardino. I know there's a conspiracy about the space shuttle. No, I want to be polite.
There she is.
Friendly, just a question.
And there she goes.
So there's a lot of rumors about you being on that space shuttle. Obviously, if you want to comment, we would really appreciate it.
So unlike Michael J. Smith, who ended up basically having a full-fledged conversation with the individual, she just effed right off. Which, depending on your stance, could be evidence for or against. But it tends to lean on the side of eyebrow rising. So here they all are.
Pilot Mike Smith, followed by Krista McCullough, teacher in space, Ellison Onizuka, and payload specialist Greg Jarvis.
So one question that's been brought up a lot is that if they did show them entering the space shuttle, how did they get out? Where did they go? Because as you know, when it goes up, they would have to go somewhere, be tucked away somewhere, pretty safe. And
raccoons are not from this world. They're some of the first aliens. Raccoons and octopus. Mostly one. Raccoons are all over America, right? Where do they come from? There's no cave drawings of any raccoons in anything.
Right.
They have drawings of dragons across the entire world, and people say dragons aren't real, but there's not a Latin name for raccoon. There's not like another name. Like they just showed up.
It's because they're sneaky. They got the mask on.
No, they came here and they were like, they got food everywhere.
Yeah.
They don't need to take us over until we run out of trash. If we run out of food to throw away, like if we just went to a system where there's like no trash anywhere, the raccoons would come up in their ships like Area 50. Because where's Area 51?
Right. You were saying you've seen pictures of dragons from every culture in the world.
Yeah,
Have you ever seen a picture
show
of a
me
raccoon?
a drawing of a raccoon
From China.
Show me a story where there's just like the raccoon and the squirrel. There's none.
They got hands, bro.
They do have hands.
You're saying they built like spaceships and came here?
Yeah.
Raccoons?
Yeah, they have
like
hands.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Why did that come from?
The galaxy.
Stan Lee based everything else on the truth, right? The X-Men is Martin Luther King and
I wasn't with them until that.
Malcolm X, like everything else. Where did this raccoon come from space?
Space.
Name another raccoon that's not from space.
I'm not arguing with you.
Even the other raccoons were like they're either secret agents.
What?
The government is telling you that raccoons were not supposed to be. They just showed up. Them and octopus.
What
but
do we
octopus
do?
couldn't. They have to be in the water.
Should we be shooting them? Dedrick said they're just like us.
I wouldn't start any shit with these raccoons. I wouldn't. You never been held up by gunpoint by a raccoon?
Can you imagine that? A raccoon just like, hey, give me your trash.
It doesn't take any time for you to imagine it. It takes zero time for you to imagine a raccoon with a gun. I guarantee.
It did.
I guarantee. If they instead of making Planet of the Apes, they just had Planet of the Raccoons where they're just enslaving black people. They wouldn't make that movie. They were like, this can't sell because this can actually happen.
Right. Literally, the week my family moved to America, my dad put a trap out in our backyard in Michigan, and we caught a raccoon. I'd never seen a raccoon before.
Yeah, exactly. They're
You didn't hear stories about it. They just be there.
It's because Eisenhower made a deal with the aliens to let raccoons be.
So what you gonna say? There wasn't food back then?
We've always had trash.
What do they naturally eat?
And they eat anything. You're like a human. Oh.
The longer you spend thinking about it, the more I'm right.
That's what I don't like about this.
Don't see them much because their daytime is nighttime.
So how are octopuses?
So they landed in the ocean because they obviously need salt water. So they came from a water-based planet. Because I think they came here with the dragons that are originally here.
Yeah.
Right? Because like that's why you can't go to Antarctica. Like you cannot go to Antarctica. You cannot go, right? And then there's like you can't fly over it, you can't do anything. It's more protected than Area 51. Like you cannot go to, and you can only go on the outskirts of Antarctica. There's a whole continent.
Wait, really?
Yes, you can't even fly over it because that's where they're holding the dragons.
Scientists, you're telling me the dragons are in Antarctica?
Yes.
Right now.
There's one last dragon.
So y'all got y'all proof. The NFL is rigged. Don't believe me? Let me go ahead and show you how. After you check out the video, tell me if you agree or disagree. Tell me if you feel what I'm saying, because I want to make sure it ain't just me. But here's the video. And this is why I tell everybody, play college football. So we're going to reference last night's game between the Seahawks and the Cardinals. Now, you had some pretty interesting player props that were on the board last night. Two things that stood out for me was anytime touchdown by Kenneth Walker, which should have been a shoo-in, and the receiving yards by JSN, Jackson Smith-Njigba, which should have been easy as well. To an extent, even Marvin Harrison was kind of sketchy. But, well, anyway, Walker is your big bruising back, and he's your starting running back. But why in the world did what's his name? Charbonnet. Charbonnet got the only touchdown. It's always backup players getting touchdowns in those key situations on featured games during the week.
That's
and
true.
then, to make matters worse, the first half or whatever, Jackson Smith and Jigba wasn't even targeted. Heck, they used him running the ball. He didn't get the ball started throwing to him until the second half. Bro, the NFL is so doggone rigged. It's crazy. It's crazy. Those props should have been taken care of before halftime. Only thing I would say, if you're going to keep playing the NFL, take above average player stats like, say, Josh Allen averages 230 yards and get the alternate lines and bring them down. That's the only way you're going to do anything. Otherwise, I'm sticking to college, mostly college. But I'm still do NFL.
You have to
see all this betting really changed. You know, I know it's been going on forever, but this betting really is making it ridiculous. Like last night with the Cardinal game, y'all, I was watching it and we scored a touchdown. There's probably like, I don't know, 40 seconds left and they kick off the ball, right? Now this kicker we have, he's been kicking the ball. Our special teams have been playing good. We've been stopping them like 30 yards or, you know, before that, but decides to kick the ball before the 20-yard line on this final kick, 40 seconds left. All they need is a field goal to win. It's tied up. He's been kicking the ball good all game. All game been kicking the ball good. Decides to hit it before the 20, gets a penalty, automatically goes to the 40-yard line. We probably would have stopped him at the 30-yard line. If they were lucky, they got to the 30, 28, 25-yard line. We would have got him. If he's been kicking like he has the whole game, final kickoff of the game, decides to get that penalty, 40 yards. They march down the field, kick a field goal with no time left. Somebody told him to do that. His special teams coach told him to do that. Like, the more I'm watching this, y'all, the more I'm like, man, you know how much emotion I had in that game up and down? Sad, happy, sad, happy. Mama Bear had to tell me be quiet. She was upstairs with the baby, and I was yelling when they tied it, clapping. Game's over. The game's damn near over. I see players on the back on the bench when they're showing Marvin Harrison all crying and sad. Players next to him cheering, laughing. Like, they don't care. They're just there to get their check. They're working. It's their job. Man. But all of us fans, all those 70,000 fans that were there yesterday went home pissed. They got a lot of energy in that stadium, that game. And a lot of people made a lot of money. A lot of people lost a lot of money.
strong in discipline. Discipline is the main ingredient of a fast. And once you fast and see how you feel, and you allow yourself to let other good things for the soul, the mind, and the body in, you might find out you might not have time for that thing that you're fasting from. In a good space, I like this. I don't want to go back there because I'm actually capitalizing on it mentally, financially. It's so many good things that can come from it by just trying it in a fast version instead of just saying, hey, I just quit. Because that word right there and quitting, your mind start fucking with you. You might get around other people that's still doing what you're trying to quit from. So it's not just about quitting. It's about allowing yourself to get around from the distractions of what you're trying to quit from.
All right, family. There you have today's video. Cut the video out 7 minutes before baby's starting to get cranky in the room. It's time for him to eat. So I'm going to cut it short, get the video edited, get it uploaded, get down there and feed him, y'all. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you made it this far, you know what to do. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. It's Friday, y'all. Let me know. What are the plans for the weekend? I don't really got no plans. No plans this weekend. It's supposed to be raining all weekend. Probably just chill out at the house. You know, there's not much to do. I got a tomato plant out there that is just going crazy. It's going crazy, y'all. It took off. It's all over the place. It looks terrible. I'll post a picture when I go out there. I'm planning on going out there and cutting it. And, you know, whether there's tomatoes on it or not, it just looks like crap. So I'm going to cut that thing. And I told Mama Bear, hey, she wanted this garden. She wanted this garden, and I'm the one taking care of it. I'm the one harvesting it. I'm the one doing all that. So we're planning on making it bigger this winter. That way when it's springtime, we can start planning. But, you know, we're going to have a serious talk. We're going to have a serious talk, because if you ain't going to be out there, you know, you know, taking care of your plants and trimming them and doing all that, then I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that, because that tomato plant is out of control. It looks ridiculous. But anyways, y'all, I got to get out of here. This is Segovia. I'm signing out of the Man Cave. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. Don't worry. I'll be back tomorrow. A lot of you guys say thanks. I appreciate it. This is my job, y'all. Right? That's what I got to tell myself. Sometimes I skip days, but you know, a lot of the days that I'm posting every day, I'm like, this is my job, right? Got to get up and get to work. So that's what I try to do and post every day. The days I don't post, like Redman was saying, got to fast and your financials go up and all that, I'm eating bad. Days I don't post, I'm usually eating bad. Days I'm posting, I'm usually eating good. So that's something I need to realize, that when I do eat bad, it's funny, things don't get done. So you got to fast from that. This is Segovia, signing out of the Man Cave. See you guys on the next one. Later.